Hello there, everyone. It is me, Elman Pad, back at it again with another Smash Moveset video. But first, I want you to ignore that first line because today we're gonna talk about the Hololive's Devilish Diva, none other than only Nerissa Ravencroft. And we're gonna do the same thing that we did with Ookami Mio and just theorize how she would be in Super Smash Bros. And this time I feel like there's gonna be a bit more uniqueness. Heck, I say this, and I just put the Smash Brothers Brawl theme when I should have been using the Ultimate one. Because looking at the evidence right here, Nerissa did play Smash Ultimate. But Nerissa, according to the lore, she did some kind of catastrophe, something big epic lore, so this fits for the introduction. So let's get started, shall we?
Op.
Now, as for Nerissa's grounded attacks, what I'm thinking is something more along the lines of just simple attacks for this first part. Her jab, I was thinking having it shaped like King Dedede's hammer, but then I removed the idea of her using her tuning fork for just slapping with her hands and then doing the chop at the end, as I had in mind it being King Dedede jab 1 and 2 to then a jab 3 of Young Link. And I think that works out pretty well. As for her F-tilt, I was thinking Sephiroth as well, but the more I think about it, she can have that with her hand or the tuning fork. Whichever one, I just imagine a big sweep, as she's one of the taller Hololive members. I say let her have some range, make it some justice and all that. If not, hey, justice. Like, the ones that are hunting her down. But I kid. She's also a soundstress demon, so her having a bunch of range wouldn't be off the charts. But for her down tilt, she's Midwestern and says op. You know I had to include the FGC meme of white woman normal. I don't get this meme much, but I decided to make it her down tilt. Have her hold onto the pole and just put those two legs forward, boom. And the angle this would set would be upwards, which would lead into combos or anything that goes up in the like. Going into her whole theming that she's like a demoness bird. So her doing things on the upper scale would be a lot more in character than having a down tilt that sends forward, because then she'd be on the ground. She's a demon bird, not a penguin. And then for the last one for these tilts in the group would be up tilt. The picture shows a tuning fork going upwards in a circular crescent stab motion. But another idea that was presented to me was her using a Samus type of up tilt like Captain Falcon has and Samus herself. And my reasoning for this is because Nerissa is a singer, and most singers have to learn to dance as well. And some dancers may also have to sing. Actually, that one I'm not so sure about. But in pop culture and idol culture, if you sing, you're gonna have to learn to dance. So, this could be a result of her doing some of that intense Hololive dancing training. And hey, it'd be a pretty nice move to have in close range. You could spike someone from it, or if they're coming up, oh, here comes the heel kick. But I kid. Actually, I don't. Nerissa's gonna hit you with a heel and go, So, there'll be some oomph behind it too. So it'd be pretty nice to have. Now that we are done with the tilts, let's go to something a bit more powerful. The smash attacks. Let's start with the first one being up smash. What I have in mind for this is essentially have it be like Lucas's up smash in terms of how it would look or work. Basically, let it kill. But I wanted to have the unique property that, since she's a singer, right? She's gonna be holding that note for a long while to release it. So, the more you charge it, the more range and power it has. You could use it opponents that are above you on a platform for a tag chase, or a shield break on that platform, just basically a huge above kill, or if she's fighting someone who's tall, boom, it can hit him through the side as well. It would be like a Wi-Fi signal icon sort of range if the picture that I drew is anything to go by, because this is what I imagined, and I didn't have anything else to go off with. But this is how I imagine it would be like. And hey, if you hit someone with it, you can have a superiority complex. But after this one, it's gonna be a way more generic one. Look at that. That's just by F smash. Because I was thinking, hey, tuning fork, do something. You know what, it's a fork. Let her poke someone with it. So, angleable smash attack. And this could be like her hitting all the pitches and the correct notes by hitting the correct angle. So by F smash it is. And as for the down smash, it's inspired by this short right here. Yup, that short was the inspiration for me to give her what is essentially Falco's down smash. And hey, Falco's also a type of bird thing, and Nerissa's a demon bird with sound. So it does add up. But the reason that I decided to give her this is because I looked at that part of the short and said, it would be funny if she did the splits. And the reason I think it would be funny is because we all saw that Ring Fit Adventure stream. She probably died doing that in real life. But hey, it'd be funny. I'm just saying. But for those other jailbirds, hey, maybe it looked nice, I don't know. But hey, it'd still be kind of funny though. Now, after all that, let's move on to the next section of all this. The aerial attacks. Shall we?
Up.
It is time to discuss Nerissa Ravencroft's aerials. We're gonna start with neutral air. This one I decided it'd be just Sephiroth Nair, as this way it will lead into her other two aerials, forward air and back air, much more fluently to say the least. This being essentially having Byleth back air and Sephiroth forward air because of her tuning fork. It just makes sense if you think about it, but also give them the ability to be angled for the same reasons explained when discussing the forward smash. And I think you have a pretty good solid thing there, and she had some Sephiroth similarities, which according to her debut, Final Fantasy VII is one of her most favorite games of all time. So having her take some similarities from Sephiroth wouldn't be too off the charts, would it now? And if you ask me, why not some similarities from Cloud too? She does not use a sword. If anyone was going to have some similarities with Cloud, let it be Elizabeth for that toxic Yuri. And it would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it now? Heck, it would be in character too. So that's a big brain idea that can be used. Think about it, jailbirds. It is now time to discuss Nerissa Ravencroft's up air and down air. The reason I mentioned these two together is because I already mentioned that forward air and back air together. Why not these two? Her up air, let it be just Palutenos, but she's singing a note and then ends with a high note for the launcher hit going up. And as for down air, let it be the stomp down air like Captain Falcon, Ganondorf, and Dr. Mario in Ultimate have. Because she likes to flatten the jailbirds. And this move would be very in character. And let's say in a theoretical future there is a Smash Bros. Of Hololive and Nerissa happens to be playable, this move should be in there for her. Because we've seen how she likes to flatten the jailbirds. So, it just needs to happen, I think. And it'd be funny too, with the rest of her moveset if you think about it. But it would be nice to have. and it would be in character. I'm just saying.
Op.
It is now time to take a look at Nerissa's special moves. The first one I'm thinking of here is her neutral special. This one is pretty simple to explain. You know how King Dedede just throws out the Waddle Dees in Brawl? Yeah, let's have Nerissa do that. Like, it just makes sense. She was throwing the jailbirds like crazy in the 3D debut, so why the hell not? And you could argue, hey brother, she doesn't have a good projectile. This isn't Nerissa with her, other horn still there. We can afford to make this Nerissa a little bit weaker. So just imagine how powerful she would be, and besides, this way the jailbirds get some reppin'. So I think it'd be pretty nice. But do not worry, jailbirds, because her next special that I'm going to discuss is her side special. And this one I have a unique idea for that. And by that, I just mean have it be like Dancing Blade or Double-Edged Dance from Marth and Roy, but have it be with high notes and low notes. Yes, I'm bringing that gimmick in again. But what I want to say here is, you know how in that side B for Marth and Roy, neutral, aka just going to the side, is red. Going up means blue. And going down means green. In terms of colors, that is. What I was thinking here is just her saying the do re mi so fa thing. But just go do re mi on the first three, and then the fourth and final one would change between sol, fa, or la. I don't know if I insulted some musicians with this, or if someone that actually knows how this alphabet kind of works, they can tell me, because I think it's a sort of alphabet. But what I really want to bring in here is that, what if instead of using colors, we just have some family members assist her? Like Brorissa for the high notes, Aradia for the neutral notes, and Malfa for the low notes. This way there could be some family Ravencroft representation there too. Because I also have an idea for her final smash for her, to include all the family singing in an opera. But I'll discuss that if I ever get to it, because I don't have any pictures driven down for it. But, hey, let's focus on that side special. The main idea I get from this is similar to something I remember from a Smash Ultimate mod. I think it was Ultimate S or HDR. I don't remember which one, which had Joker with some of the Phantom Thieves there too. But I think this is a more so unique idea that can be done. Otherwise, you could just have her without the family members in case it becomes a strain on the system too. Or just have like a little PNG in the background if you want to get budget limitations in terms of hardware. But that's what I would say for the side special. Definitely takes up a whole page here. And you can see the different moves I want her to do here. With up at some point just ending with her raising her arms in the sun as the soul goes, and Fa just having her look like she's screaming angrily at the audience, and La, just making one of those crouching movements. Not sure what I wanted to draw here, because I remember being very tired when I was doing this. Also watching some Civilization sits. So, interpret this as you will. But I think a side special focused on singing the high notes and low notes fits perfectly too. And if she didn't have a good projectile, at least she could have a good approach option. Wouldn't she now? Correct? Now, the next special I'm going to talk about is the down special. I also think this one is rather unique in terms of the fact that she would just be absorbing projectiles, basically, energy-based projectiles, instead of it healing her or just going away like examples for Rosalina or Ness. I would like hers to power up a very important attack. It'd be something like finishing touch like Cloud. Look, there's your one Cloud similarity right there. And when it's fully charged, I would like it to unleash two massive beams towards the, you know, enemy, opponent, or whatever she's facing. Two, but at the same direction, because it's a really, really killer move. But she shouldn't have the freedom to move it around, because she'd have to focus it, because she doesn't have her second horn to control it all around. But she'd still be able to use powerful magic when charged up. And I think this move would fit in pretty well, honestly. But, you know, maybe this could be a different move, or just be a simple, standard absorber of projectiles, for example, like Rosalina. Like, this move is just more similar to Game & Watch Bucket, but just have it be like a full-screen projectile, since she doesn't have good projectiles already, you know? And let it have a little bit of a slow startup, and you can't change the angle once you start it either. So, you know, just let it be readable, let it be predictable. Since she doesn't have her horn, she has to commit to it. And I think that would be what I'm trying to go with this. But if you have a better idea of what type of thing she can have to show off her magic, please say so in the comments, because this could honestly be way better in my opinion. But it's the best I came up with, because I just wanted to show off her magic for a bit. And then her up special, I just imagine it having her being carried up by the jailbirds. She lost her horn. She can't fly anymore, I think. She might have the wings, but do they have enough power? She could use her wings, but I want to put some more jailbird representation there too. Or maybe she doesn't want to use her wings to not tire herself out. She doesn't have the full power of her horn yet. She has to conserve that energy into whatever magic she can use to defeat her opponent. But for this next section, she's not gonna be using any type of magic. Mostly. I say mostly. Because the next section is going to be all about grabbing your opponent and flinging them, choking them, or just putting them down to the floor. And if this were, I think you can do this in Melee, where you can just down throw with bots and spike, man. Maybe I'm just remembering wrong, which is why I don't think I'm gonna look that up. But hey, let's get into the grab, shall we?
Up.
Now it is time to discuss Nerissa Ravencroft's grabs and throws. For her grabs being the grab, dash grab, and pivot grab, I want to give her Peach's stock standard ones. No change to them really. Here, I'll show you the grab, then the dash grab, and the pivot grab. See? Stock standard. And I think it also fits since Nerissa did play Peach in a Super Mario Party Jamboree collab with Crony, Kiara, and Gigi. But enough of that. We'll go into the throws now. Forward throw, have it be similar to side B, just have her throw the jailbirds forward. Nothing much to it, you know? So for her to throw, just have her throw the opponent forward, the same way with the jailbirds. But with a bit more force towards the ground, you know? It can't be throwing them like, oh no, off the stage, oh no, I'm safe. Nah, she's throwing you to the ground. She may not have her magical powers, but she still has a decent build to keep up with in a fight. Those demons of the Ravencroft family were pretty strong, according to the lore. Maybe Nerissa was the strongest, physically? And don't forget the April Fools. Although I don't have a good picture for the April Fools, so just take my word for it or Nerissa's. And then as for the back throw, just have her turn around and throw them back with the hand she's using them. Now make that one the weak throw that doesn't send for any tech whatsoever. You know? It's just gonna be a back throw. And, you know, you can probably link that up with an aerial too. And for her down throw, we're gonna go back to flattening the jailbirds. She's gonna body slam the jailbird. In the picture. Because if this were in a game, she'd be wrestling and slamming her opponent. Which I think the person to test out that move would be Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame. So maybe I should have put her in there instead of the Jailbird. But enough of that before the Justice people come get me for this propaganda. Up throw would be her grabbing the opponent upwards like Ganondorf would in his side B, or Mewtwo when doing his forward throw. Instead of shooting projectiles like Mewtwo or just sending them down like Ganondorf's Flame Choke, I want this to have some magic come up from the ground and then just have them be sent up. Maybe this could be her kill throw too, if giving her a kill throw wouldn't be too much out of the question. But that's what I think her grabs would play out like. And after this, I say we go to the attributes and talk about how she would feel and play, you know, in terms of weight, floatiness, speed, why her moves are such a way, and what role she would fulfill, essentially.
Op.
For Nerissa's attributes, what I had in mind was something similar akin to Byleth, Ike, or Pyra. Basically, any of the disjointed users on the heavier side. I also think she would have to feel a bit like Sephiroth too in terms of movement. Specifically, a bit slower than Winged Sephiroth, but not as slow as regular Sephiroth. She could honestly fit the bill pretty well too. And the reason I would like her to be on the heavier side is because lots of the Hololive members tend to be on the shorter end of the stick when it comes to height. So if anyone's gonna be heavy, I guess it'd be some of the taller ones, or anyone with like attributes that would make them heavy despite the size, like Roboko being a robot and Kanata being heavy simply because the whole gorilla joke to go along with that. It'd be funny if she was pretty small and as heavy as DK. Now that would be funny. But to focus on Nerissa, I think she'd be similar to Byleth with just a bit of Sephiroth movement mixed in between. And as for the alts that I'd like to give her, the first two, Shiori and Bibu, the Advent. So I'm not gonna mention Fuwamoko, but instead of making them two separate alts, I'd like them to be one combined alt in terms of skin, because it just would take up too much space really, and they're already considered as one instead of just twins. They are seen as twins, but in terms of the Hololive channel, it's just one channel for both. You could make them each other individual skins, but I feel like it would be a bit redundant. So yeah, just have Fuwamoko as a together skin essentially in terms of colors. And then the fourth one would be Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame from Justice, because we all know how the Blood Ravens really gearing up in popularity recently. The fifth one would be Kiara, because she used to work for KFP, so why not? She used to be an employee, and heck, she even used to look like one too. So it just makes sense. Like, you can't have a Nerissa in a game without a Kiara costume. That just won't make any sense. The sixth one would be Marin, because she's the only person that managed to out-freak Marin that even Marine was like, whoa, lady, calm down. And then the seventh one would be Ollie, simply because of their Twitter interaction. I think they've interacted before plenty, but I think these skins would offer some nice variety. Although they would need some work, because there's 3 reds in here and she's mainly blue. But if you put Crony and it just be Nerissa but with blue hair. She does have a bit of blue in her hair, but I mean like completely blue. A few chains maybe, or maybe have her horns be gray to represent Crony's chains. Nah, I don't know. Put your costume suggestions below if you think there should be some better choices, because putting some of the other EN members like Fauna or Gigi would also be good choices. but due to Ultimate having limited costume slots, and from what it seems to be, this will be the future going on when it comes to Super Smash Bros. Just everyone having their default costume and then 8 more slots. I think this would be the way to go. But to spice it up, you could have Nerissa dressed up in the KFP employee uniform, though. I hope you all enjoy those alts. Because, you know, these are just ones I picked based on what I've seen of Nerissa.
And with all that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this video and my picks and suggestions for how I think Nerissa Ravencroft would play in Super Smash Bros. Hit a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, or comment down below if you want to see another character. I'm already thinking this one on screen. But let's see what happens. Good night, everybody, or good day, or good morning. I don't know what time you're watching this.